Hey everybody, hey Kevin. We are going to pick up where we left off and design farming. Let me write this down. Adam is designing the farming system. What he already done this, but he's not happy with how it sounded on paper and wants it to feel a bit better before he starts coding it. Lunch is good. Had biryani. There's been a place that we've been to now. Well, I've been to, I guess, twice, but I've had three different things from it, and like all the things were good. It's really nice discovering a new restaurant that you really like. Well, it's new to us. It's been around. So yeah, we've had leftovers for lunch from there. Yeah, it's pretty solid. Okay, so farming. I liked the idea of the seed maker being something you bring potions to. I like the idea of this thing taking time. So you have your farm somewhere on the map and you this shouldn't be showing this way, right? Oh, I need to reload the project. We don't have many restaurants near us, let alone good. Yeah, I feel like we're very lucky with where we live because there are only so many that are walking distance from us, but there are lots and lots in the general area. So we do have a lot of choice. And another nice thing too is just it's not just choice amongst one kind of cuisine. Because where I grew up was kind of like that. There was like one type of food, and it was good food. It's just if you wanted something else outside of that cuisine, you couldn't really get it. But yeah, I think Seattle is pretty good for food. Okay, yeah. So the idea of crops taking time to grow, I like that. I was gonna load up the game and just kind of show where a farm might be. Now when you come back and you see that they've grown, maybe the way this works. Okay, I have an idea. When you harvest them. I know we kind of talked about this. Where is this thing? Ah, here it is. When you harvest. Maybe the more crops that are fully ready, the more benefit you get. And I'm still not sure how I feel about that either. Maybe it takes time to harvest the plant. Why would that be important though? Hmm. I feel like we're right on the brink of something. I don't know what. And Kevin had mentioned that there's a sprinkler system in the farming pack. Let me open this up. Okay. So somewhere here, there's a farming pack. Here it is. And we got various sprites in here. I guess let's open some of these in GIMP. Just staring at them might give me some ideas. There should be a sprinkler here. I remember seeing it too. There's a scythe that moves on a circle, a version thing. Maybe it's inside the atlas. Yeah, that I guess. Or at least that would probably work. Hmm. Hey, we got. How you doing? Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Thought that was a sprinkler. I think it's a scythe. I think they had a picture. Yeah, it's called sickle.png. But I mean, we could pretty much just use the same idea as a sprinkler. This first one certainly looks like one. But yeah, I think they had the idea that this is gonna cut down your plants. I want to know if I can buy a Mac. If I buy a Mac, can I be fine coding in a virtual machine and code in Visual Studio and .NET C Sharp? You should be able to do that in a virtual machine, yeah. I mean, you could always just test it on your current computer that you have. If you can virtualize anything, then just try running a VM there. Because the host operating system shouldn't matter for what you're virtualizing. With that said, I don't know if it would be a great experience. There are probably ways you could make it a little bit better, I guess, depending on the remoting software you use into the virtualization software. But yeah, the new Macs are pretty powerful. And then if you ever want to do any Apple specific development like iOS stuff, there are some limits right now with virtualizing Windows and M chips. Huh. Okay. I just really want a Mac, but in my school we had to use Visual Studio and code C#. I mean, the part about using Visual Studio, I think you should be able to use at least VS Code in C#, because I know that Visual Studio isn't fully supported anymore on Mac. And I code in C# and I just use VS Code. But yeah, if there's any Visual Studio specific thing that you need to do like profiling, then yeah, you need to figure something else out for that. I mean, there's a well here. Maybe we could use that and say that your crops are only watered when the well has water in it. This is, I guess, why looking at these things is decently helpful. There's a well. We could make it so that your crops only get water when the well has water. Maybe workers can bring buckets of water to the well. Yeah, we can't just do all the same things, can you? No, it's not all the same things. As far as regular development goes, you can do pretty much the same things. Like I can still code and I can debug, but there are probably some features in Visual Studio that you can't replicate. And like I said, I think profiling is one of them. If you want to figure out like which function is taking the longest, I don't think VS Code does that. There might be add-ons for this stuff. And you could always use other IDs too. Hey Sarah, hey Premix. Depends on their ability to provide support. Yeah, that's another thought. I mean, even textbooks could come down to that. It's like, oh, read chapter 6. It's like, well, then they know what you've read. But really, if you just get the knowledge a different way, it's all the same, right? So you might want to just talk to maybe an administrator or a teacher or something like that and just ask, hey, I'd like to get a Mac. Will I have a problem with this? And like I said, you could try virtualizing or look online. I mean, more than just asking in a Twitch chat. I think see if there are YouTube videos about doing this. And then I know there are some cloud services that could probably suffice, but you'd probably have to pay for those. AWS has some like, what do they call it? Desktop virtualization. Is it this? Amazon Workspaces? Whoa, wait, what? Is that what I thought it was? Explainer. Hold on, what was that? Huh. I would have liked to have read that. I just thought it doesn't matter. I could probably get it again, but yeah, I think something like this is probably a solution. Just how much does it cost though? Cloud native virtual desktops. Pricing. Windows licensing. Windows, here we go. Okay, they're not super cheap for a kind of sucky machine. Oh, I guess it says $25 per month. That's not terrible, but yeah, it's not great, I guess. Maybe just download the last possible 2022 Visual Studio for Mac and be fine. That might work too, yeah. I mean, you could always see how far that takes you. I guess the problem that you're worried about is if you encounter any sort of actual barrier that then your computer purchase would have been kind of for nothing and you need a Windows machine anyway. Yeah, but I would ask around. I'd look into this a little bit more. Just yeah, make sure before you spend some money on that stuff. And maybe one of the questions you can ask is there anything Visual Studio specific that they all use? Because you can probably do most of the stuff on just VS Code if you can't get virtualization to work. All right, so this concept of filling a well with water. You know what I think we need? I think we need something that's just a little bit different from the other systems. Like seeds are kind of similar to the fish egg stuff. So it doesn't feel like a brand new system. Then if it just takes time to grow the crops, then it's just a matter of harvesting them. Could we do something interesting to make it more fun? doing Visual Studio and SQL, and we're just using Git as well, and all those things you can do from Visual Studio, I guess, but you can also do them other ways. Yeah, you can do them other ways. Also, I will say this, by doing them other ways, you'll probably learn a little bit more in the process. And I mean, if you watch the stream for long enough, probably not this afternoon, but I will eventually get back to coding, and you'll see me do this stuff from a Mac. I'm on a Mac right now. I use VS Code. I use Git. I mostly use Git through VS Code, but I also use it through the command line. Like here, I ran a Git command. I manage PRs and stuff through the command line. And there are some things I'd like to improve about my workflow, but they're just not worth it. Like there are some little issues with VS Code. I have to reload it quite a lot because it just every once in a while just stops working. And other IDEs probably shouldn't have that problem. And like I said, I'm missing a profiler for C# and other little things. Found Mac and all the others I code on in the team are on Windows. There shouldn't be too many problems. There are some very minor things that are going to be different. So for example, Git, even just how you store line endings are going to be different. On Windows, you store line endings as a carriage return /r and then a new line. And on almost any other operating system, it's just a new line. So there's a setting to just automatically change that stuff for you. If you didn't have that setting, you might start seeing these characters in your code and be like, what am I supposed to do here? Or not commit them the right way or something. So there are little things, but they all have workarounds or they all have solutions for them. The only thing you excuse me, wouldn't find easy solutions for, and this might make it very difficult, is if they ever give you like, they're like, oh, hey, here's some thing, right? Some file.exe. And they're like, run this. You still might be able to. Like there are some things like wine and what's that other one that I use? Whiskey or something like that. Yeah. but short of that, it's like, okay, well, you either get a Windows machine, you virtualize it, or you emulate all the Windows APIs. Hey, Plus, have you ever seen pics and videos from that recent moon landing? No, I haven't. I'm like totally disconnected from most news. I follow whatever shows up on my Google Now feed in the top like 2 chunks because I don't scroll it. So, excuse me. I've had the hiccups since lunch and I was able to mask them until just then. So yeah, so I don't scroll, so I don't tend to see a whole lot. Chef Alton, thanks for the resub. Happy 27. I mean, what if this concept was that you were planting trees? In fact, that idea of planting fruiting trees around your farm is kind of interesting. Like we already have the whole fruiting trees system. And I mean, this could be part of farming, but I already talked about this a while ago. No, it's okay, Des. Yeah. HD video of the moon before landing. Oh, cool. Yeah. Hey, Femizan. Do you recommend using Git Bash over the build in Git inside IDEs like Visual Studio? Are you talking about on Windows? Because you say Git Bash. In my mind, there's this whole like Git for Windows stuff, and Git Bash was one of them. If you just mean Git on the command line, do I recommend it? I really just recommend whatever's good for your workflow. So if you're using something like VS Code and this bar on the side is fine for everything you do, then by all means just use that. But if you need to supplement with a command line, then use the combination. If you just like using the command line, then use just the command line. Like I'd say give everything a shot and see what you like and what works for you, because all these tools exist for a reason. It's someone likes that combination of things over this other combination of things, and it doesn't mean it's the best. It just means that they like it. It's why you'll always see people talk about like Vim key bindings versus regular shortcuts in VS Code or Emacs or whatever. It's like if there were a truly best thing, everyone would just be on the best thing, but a lot of it boils down to opinion. What was lunch? I had biryani. It's very good. Threw in some hard-boiled eggs. Yeah, so what would you do here? I think part of why I'm torn about a lot of this stuff is anything involving adventurers or workers, because then you would want to control their priorities more than you already have to. We could introduce some kind of farm specific entity, but I'm not sure that's fun either. Maybe it's okay for something like sprinklers. you water the crops yourself, then you get sprinklers to do it. Yeah, I've used different things on different operating systems, I guess. What did I use? I don't even remember the name of it anymore. VMware had some virtualization thing. I don't know. Yeah, I used Hyper-V on Windows and something else. I don't remember what the something else was. I don't even know if I'd recognize the icon. Still so torn on this. I like the idea of getting something. If we just had watering crops, I think getting sprinklers eventually would be nice for that. But I guess you'd be buying one for like every tile of your farm that you have. I mean, at that point, why don't we just have different wells that you have to install or piping from the well? Maybe that's all you're getting is an irrigation system and you're building that out. Maybe you're just building out an irrigation system rather than adding sprinklers. So it would automatically water some of your crops for you. I just still don't find this interesting. Man. By the way, anything that has a cost, you mentioned you're a student. You should definitely look into any sort of student discounts. Students pay just so little when it comes to software because a lot of times they'll have free versions or like steeply discounted versions, or your school has some hookup with that. So at least inquire before you rule it out. Because yeah, something might seem expensive, and then you find out, oh no, it's actually free for 3 years, but you just had to prove that you're a student or something. It's like, oh, okay, can't be free. All right, what else? What other things? Maybe even thinking about this as farming is not a good idea. The nice thing about it being farming specifically is we have a bunch of these graphics. Like we can just use any of these. We don't need to custom make anything. And I like that idea. And I like the idea of growing plants on your farm. I think that's cool too. And yeah, we have enough of these yet. I think that's clear enough. We even have seed graphics. So yeah, you plant some seeds. Still haven't figured out what makes it grow yet. It runs through some of these different graphics that we have of something growing. It's pretty cool. I like that. But then what are you doing with it? Are you watering it? Are you fertilizing it? Is there some other thing? Should this involve battle in some way? Should it involve some other thing? What if we had machines for all types of items? I don't think we need that. Yeah, I like the seed maker idea. And that's, I guess, the only input from your workers that you'd have. There's another kind of an idea here. Like, what if some form of crafting played into the seed making system? So, like, potion A plus potion B makes a watermelon seed. Not sure I like this either. Is VirtualBox a blue icon? Oh, it at least used to be, I guess. Yeah, maybe I used that. I honestly don't remember. It might have been that. So what's my pushback on just having it be that you plant seeds? Well, fishing is essentially the same process up until that point. So fishing is just the seed part, and then a battle. Yeah, so farming would be the seed part, and then time. Just can't picture how else you get water to your crops or fertilizer or something. should not be this difficult. Well, I mentioned kind of mocking this up. I guess we can try that. We can just make like a farm component and you click it and it does stuff. Why not? Let's do it. All right, so we're gonna call this, why can't I save this? Oh, we need a root node. Okay, fine, node 2D, farm, save. We'll just save it here as farm delete me. Or farm prototype or something like that. Okay, now the farm prototype is gonna have a tile map layer. We're not gonna go too crazy with this. We're just gonna go and make a tile set. Okay, and then get some ground tiles. We have a farming tile set that we should probably add. But let's keep this pretty simple. Okay, so that can be our farm. And then we're gonna need these plants and stuff on the farm. They're not all in one thing, are they? No, they're not. So I guess let's go include these. Farm plants 1. There was also a farm plants 2. What's on that? Just the individual plants. That's okay. We don't need that. All right, so I'll copy this over to here. Where's the farm delete me thing? I want to put this in the same spot. There it is. Okay, I'll put this right here too. I don't want to get too crazy with this. Okay, so we need some seeds. So let's add a sprite 2D. We'll call this seed. Texture is going to be the farm atlas. What is this doing in our game? Did I add the wrong thing? Oh, yeah. What is this called? Farm plants 1. Oh, I think I added free farm plants 1. I did not mean to do that. Yeah, whoops. I didn't even realize there was a difference. So wait, what's in the rest of these then? Oh, there are a few more. All right, sure, whatever. I still just want this one. Whoops. Whoops. Why can't I copy this? There we go. Okay, so open up farm plants 1. Cool. Then make this into an atlas texture, I guess. Atlas texture, farm. All right, so what region do we want for this? It's the seeds, so whatever's down here. How big is this supposed to be? Are these like 16 by 16? That's 16 by 32 that I just did. Yeah, probably 16 by 32. Okay, cool. So then we'll find whatever this goes to. 208. Yeah, that works. 208 by 16. 208. No, 0. 208. All right, there are our seeds. Now we move the seeds. Done. It has only 750 hours. Is it 750 per month? Because that's generally what these sites do. And that way you get however like as many hours as you need in total. I'd have to look into this myself. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, like I said, I think you should definitely talk to your school and just see what they talk about there. There's a seed. Then we have a crop in different stages of maturity here. So we could have like this little thing going on. What are those? Are those flowers? Yeah, probably. But we could just use the green fruits one or blue fruits or whatever. Now let's just pick a mature crop for now. All right, so what's this at? 146. 9 times 16, 144. 144, and it's 2 tall, 2 tiles tall. So we'll call this like crop, and we will add in the same thing we just had. 144, 0, 16, 32. All right, there. This is how cheap we're doing this. Now we make an area 2D and then a collision shape. We put the collision shape on the farm. Done. Then we give this thing a script. Call it farm delete me. Sounds great. Actually, we have a clickable area. Let's just use that. Huh, where is it? Is it not called clickable area? Maybe it's just a script. Yeah, it's just a script. This is Godot 4.4, but it's one of the betas, or maybe a release candidate. I don't remember, but it's not general availability, which just came out. Yeah, known. Is the backstory for the farming feature written anywhere? No, the farming feature itself is not fully designed. We're just prototyping something really fast just to see what it might feel like. But I don't think it's going to be great. All right, so this is going to be clickable area. Make this unique. I guess same thing with the seed and the crop thing. Little private, clickable area, clickable area. Then the seed sprite. And the other one is going to be the crop sprite. All right, and ready. We're going to get all these things. Good. Then on clicked, we're going to do this. Private void on clicked, sure. So if the seed sprite is not visible, then make it visible. Else if the seed sprite is visible. Oh, and I guess the crop sprite is not visible. Yeah, overkill. Notice you're using C# and Godot. Does C# provide any benefits over GDScript or just personal preference? My Y C# command talks about this a little bit. GDScript is getting better. In general, I think it's just use whatever feels good for you. And then once you feel like there's something you're missing, then you can potentially switch. So let's say you feel like you're using GDScript and you hit a performance issue. You could always switch to writing native code and then just, optimize certain parts of it. So in general, it's just the things I have written in that note of why I am using what I'm using. So then if the seed sprite is visible and the crop sprite is not visible, then we're going to do this, hide that, and show this. Else if the crop sprite is visible, then we'd consider it to be harvested. Okay, so this is just a quick little blob of code here to make it so that we can cycle through our farm. And it's not going to do anything. There's no function to this, really. And then let's instantiate this somewhere in the town. We'll put it off to the left because that's kind of where I was picturing this would go. Farm, delete me. And then just ordering will make this go higher than the trees. Yeah, there. All right, whatever. So picture that this actually fit in with the world. It's not going to. I don't care. Has the boilerplate code. Yeah, I really like that aspect of it. Like I've typed out functions a million times now to the point where if something else could type it out for me, that'd be great. So if I click this, it's going to plant a seed. It didn't because I forgot to save the seed. No, seed and crop. Yeah, they're just named differently. All right, so I click this, plants a seed. I click it again, it grows. I click it again, I harvest it. I can just keep doing that. That's it. That's this little prototype was for, is just to see, does this spark anything for me? Because I think the idea of planting seeds by manually clicking, that was the original idea. And I don't think you'd want to do that a lot. I don't think I mind that you have to harvest plants that way. And even then, I don't think it's probably very fun to do that. Maybe you always harvest all of the plants at once so it can just cut down on the number of clicks you do. And you don't need to harvest individual plants. You just click to harvest all of them. Is that interesting? I don't know. Upgrades into automatic. So let me share what I've got so far as the idea for this. Because, hey, Zaffoy, thanks for the resub. WB, welcome back. I don't know how much you already have in terms of context or how much you kind of saw me talking about, but the closest thing to the beginning of farming that we have is the fishing system. And it's because of this device here. This is the extractor. And the way it works is that you put potions into here and they turn into fish eggs in your pond. So I right now have 2 fish. If I turn this on and then grant a bunch of potions and a bunch of workers here, they'll just go bring potions into here. And after they've brought enough in, it'll turn into a fish egg. And oh, that wasn't enough. And then I'll have 3 fish in my pond. And yeah, there we go. So now they can go sell them in the shop because this is maxed out and there's 1 fish, 2 fish, and the third is probably under there somewhere. Oh no, there it is. It's really tiny. So this is what we're going to have on the farm as well as a seed maker. So you'll bring potions to the seed maker and it'll just automatically put in the seeds. So like, imagine I turn this on, workers bring potions to it, and then it just plants a seed when it's ready. And if you have available space in your farm, it'll fill up with seeds. So that's how I want the seeds to be planted. That part I'm pretty much convinced on. And that way there's some opportunity cost here because potions that you could have sold in your shop for 3 gold. Oh, that says value 3. I think the gold symbol's missing. Hang on a second. Yeah, I could have sworn when you stack items, you see that show up correctly, right? Well, I think we should put that back in, but that's a very quick fix. Quick change, values show without the money symbol. Just 7 instead of 7G. I think when you have multiple, it shows up correctly. Yeah, oh, I see. It says value 30 and then 15G each. And then if you get shiny loot, what happens? Yeah, okay. Well, I'll just... What? Oh, hold on. Take a picture of this. Yeah, that's a very, very quick change. Can it shoot or spit the seeds over from the thing to the field? I think that would be funny or cute. Yeah, I think you could do that. And I think that's fine. I don't see a problem with that. The problem I have is I know how you get the seeds, and I think I want it to be mostly time-based for how you eventually get the crop. But is that fun? Like, is that it? You just turn on some switch somewhere? Because that's what you're going to do, right? You're going to turn on the switch, and then whenever it's available, it'll just start pumping seeds into your farm. And then you harvest the crops. I just don't think that's all that interesting. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. You're manually harvesting it first, so you have to click all the plants that are ready. And eventually you automate that part of it. Yeah, it could be as simple as you plant via the seed maker. You wait for the crop to grow. You manually click to harvest. You eventually automate the harvesting. I'm just not sure it's all that interesting. Like you're not really and then I guess the decisions you make are on the perks to get. Yeah. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's where the fun kind of comes in. Like it's going to randomly plant seeds. So here we have this red plant and maybe that's worth 5 food. But sometimes it plants the blue one and that's worth 15 or 50. And sometimes it plants a pumpkin and that's worth 500. And then your perks that you get, imagine this as farming perks. You could get a perk like more pumpkins and your crops grow faster and you speed up crop growth with sprinklers or something. Yeah, maybe you add a well. Maybe maybe it is just an upgrade system. Maybe the well is one of those upgrades. It speeds up crop growth. And you get varying water levels. I mean, that doesn't really make sense, but whatever. What have you made the farm an evolution of fishing, where what seed you get depends on the combination of items you feed in the seed maker. So don't exclusively feed it potions. Yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about here. Like, what if potion A plus potion B gives you a watermelon seed? And what you're saying is instead of just potions, what if it's like armor and a weapon gives you something? And there are a few things that make that a little bit difficult. So one is that items have values, and like a 3 gold potion should probably give you like a 3 gold seed. You know what I mean? So what happens if you put in a really expensive weapon and a cheapo armor, or vice versa? The other thing is, how does this get automated? Like, are you losing all your valuable items because you have this switch toggled on, and now all your workers are bringing like every weapon and armor into that? So I think keeping it to just potions is probably good. What do you pick up a ripe crop and give it to the slime, and the slime gives you 1 gold? I see unknown starting early tonight. Yeah, so we were talked about like what if there was a farming slime or something like that. But I think that would make sense if you had to convert this. But I don't think you need to convert food into anything. I think it makes sense that your adventurers can just eat the food and get health. So I don't think we need another explanation there. Hey Guppy, welcome in. Could it average the value of the other items if you went the way? It could. It's just, and that's kind of what's happening right now. The way that this thing works is there's an internal gold value. So currently it's at, let's say, 0 gold. When it hits a threshold, 50 gold, it's going to produce 1 fish egg. So now, yes, you saw it take like whatever that is, 17 potions. But I could have also, let's upgrade this. I could have also brought it more expensive potions. So like this on its own is worth 32. So now they're not dumping in nearly as many potions, and I've maxed out my fish. I just got 7 more fish. So we could do something like that. I just, at the end of the day, I think like, what does it add to put any of these systems in the game? And this one makes sense. You're losing out on some potions, which you could have sold in your shops, and you're getting fish instead. And the reason you want fish is because that's how you'll eventually upgrade your fortitude permanently. So you're basically paying money in the form of potions for stats. That same sort of thing is going to happen with farming. You're paying money, again, in the form of potions for health in this case. But I want the system to feel different from fishing. The way that fishing actually works is you enter the battle map and you choose your pond and you fight the fish, which doesn't make a lot of sense from a flavor perspective, but it's fun, I think. So it's like when you beat these fish now, they're not even fighting back. You beat these fish and then you get scales from them and you use the scales to upgrade. So if I speed this up, there we go. We beat all the fish in our pond. And now when we exit the battle, it says you fished and you got 10 scales. So yeah, I think this concept of just the perks are where this is interesting. I think this is, if this ends up working out, if this system is fun, then I think this is a very valuable lesson, which is that this is the level of decision making we expect you to have in Skeleseller. And this should form the foundation for practically everything. And I think we should probably get started on coding this then, if that's the case. But I want to write that down. If farming ends up being fun due to the perks, then we should consider that as the foundation for decision making in new systems for Skeleseller, i.e. the decisions, the minute-to-minute decisions themselves aren't that interesting for any particular system. They're typically on or off. However, you as a town manager have decisions of what to upgrade first. And that's where the fun comes in. And just watching all this play out. Hey, Becca. Hey, Dabu. No. Okay. So now, chat, this is where you come in. I'm going to summarize this, and then I want you to just think, is this fun on paper? So here's our like overall conclusions. You build the farm for some amount of gold, X gold. It starts as a 2x2 plot of land and comes with a seed maker. Let me close this and move this over here so you can actually see everything. Okay, it comes with a seed maker. The seed maker takes potions and converts them into seeds that it automatically plants on your farm. Seeds are randomized amongst like 5 crops of varying food values. Seeds grow on their own. Imagine like 1 minute per crop life cycle. You harvest crops manually. Harvested crops turn into food that you use to permanently upgrade adventurer health. Is that the whole system? Oh yeah, and then there are perks that you can buy to permanently upgrade your farm, e.g. faster crop growth, uh, I don't know, automatic harvesting, etc. I don't need to list out all the perks. Just this is the overview of the system. So do those conclusions look interesting / fun given what we have in the rest of Skeleseller? Take care, Above. Have a good meeting. Have a good rest of your day. Does it go inactive if you already filled out the plot? Yeah, it does. So this is how the extractor here works too. This my pond is at 0 fish out of 10. So if I were to just grant a bunch of items here, well, that's not good. What happened here? And why is this not? Oh, there we go. Value 0 must be greater than or equal to 1. Oh, I bet I know why this is happening. Because of how we grant ground items. Drop off item actually failed this, huh? Throw off less than a minimum. That's not good. That's really not good. I think I think I know what caused this, but let me write this down. All right, so bug with item quantities. So what happened here? Drop off item in the extractor. Yeah. Drop off item in the extractor when there was a... Actually, it's just for a single item. For a single item. Why would that happen? Let me try that out again. I know I lost my train of thought before that. Oh yeah, it was the whole extractor thing. So yeah, the seed maker is going to work the same way as this. If you have it on and your pond is already full in this case, you don't put in more potions. Same thing over here. If you have the seed maker on and you've already filled up every plot of land you have, then you won't put more potions in the seed maker. So there is no wasting of your potions basically. Or let's just say there's no wasting. There kind of is, but it's not important. All right, so what happened here? They just brought this here and that was enough to make it go bad. We need to raise this. I think it's only when items are stacked. Yeah, so I do this and I click this. And then we do that same thing? No, that doesn't cause it to happen. I know originally I had left clicked this, so I got these kinds of potions. Are we already full on this? Yeah, I think we are. It must only be when I hit the maximum number of fish. We're 25, 35. I wonder what happened. Huh. Let's build these shops so that they can get rid of these items. I need a lot more customers if I'm going to do that. Now let's speed this up. And I guess give them all the shop displays too. And then just add 1 million more customers. All right, great. Now we also need to make these go battle over here. And then I just grant a bunch of items. Maybe I'd allowed stacking up to 3. I don't actually know. Yeah, hard to know exactly what caused this. Oh, it happened again. Okay, yeah, maybe it was when you allow stacking up to 3. And then this item quantity actually... Okay, here it is 3. Remaining quantity is 3. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. It's when you end up consuming the entire item. Yeah, okay, that's a problem. Why is that only a problem, though, when you have more than one of these? Shouldn't this always be an issue? Location is start position. We have this line. This sets it to 0. We've got another wild factor that's also typical of Skeleseller. Ripe crops give you X level of value, but if you leave them out for a little longer, let's say 3 times the time, the plant gets consumed by a maggot, and then you get a juicy maggot. Talking Lion King juicy, that has 3x the value. So the way I would want to do this is if you leave crops out for an extra long time, that they would be worth more. But then we need to figure out how that works when it comes to automatically harvesting. Because automatically harvesting is something that would happen that would stop you from ever getting to that extra value. So we need to have something like you only automatically harvest fully ripe crops, like the golden quality crops or something. Or we make it so that they just skip the regular quality and go right to golden. Then it goes over the maximum, maybe a race condition if 2 items are flying at the same time. Yeah, we'll have to test. I'll just write repro involved maxing item stacking, making 1,000,000 workers, turning on the extractor, and granting a bunch of items. Max fish is 10, but you would need to empty the pond every once in a while so that you can bring more items to the extractor. Yeah, I'd have to debug that a little bit more. Anyway, let's go back a step. So these are the conclusions. Let's just bump this down so that the only thing on the screen. Does this sound fun? So you build the farm, starts out as a small plot of land. We kind of have a little mock-up for this, but not really. So I'll just show this alongside it. But it's very basic what we have here. So yeah, you have this plot of land. Imagine it starts out even smaller than this. You have a seed maker. It looks just like this thing. It's over here. You can turn it on. When you turn it on, you bring potions to it. It'll actually plant seeds automatically. Over time, so over the course of like a minute, it'll grow into a fully grown crop. You will click it to harvest it, so it'll go away. You get food. You use it to upgrade your adventures. And then there are perks. So you get farming perks and you upgrade those. Does that sound good? Why'd you offer C# over GDScript? Check this out. Maybe what I told you I'd do but haven't done yet. The same thing we do for quests to prevent items flying while the last one's already submitted. Ah, I see. Okay, well, how about this? I think you have the repro for this, but still I'll paste this into a gist and send it your way. That could be an upgrade to your farm. Wait one sec. New gist. There's nothing secret or private about this. I'm only making it secret so that it's not listed on my profile or something like that. Your farmers or workers sit through an online hustling course and learn about drop shipping and also charging a premium for products at the end of the value chain, so they only go for juicy maggots. I think we should make like a whole college system in Skeleseller then. And they get their MBA. Like Skella School. Skella Schooler. All right, well, I love the name. I don't like anything else about this idea. If we could somehow work Skeleschooler into the game, I'd be very happy about that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this. At least I think it's worth trying. Should we like super quickly prototype this? No, I don't think so. I think we should just slow prototype it. All right, so what changes here? This is all the same. This is the same. Yeah. Seeds and stuff. I guess it's gonna track its own crops. Yeah. Add planting. Okay, so we have empty, seeded, fertilized, mature. That's no longer going to be the case. There's no concept of fertilizing. It's just going to be some crop growth thing. I think this can end up being fun. Can I submit some bugs I find somewhere? Chances are you'll know about them already, though. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no like super formalized process for this. So the way I always kind of say this is if it's a sentence or two, no images needed, you can just report it here on Twitch. Anything else, just on Discord, I think would be best. We have a bug reports section right here. Can I copy a link to this? Copy link. If you're already in the Discord, that link will work. If you're not in the Discord, then you'll have to click the invite link there. You have health and fortitude cover. Perhaps you could leave dexterity. I forgot the third one for Skeleseller School. We have every one of the 4 things covered. So health is going to come from food from the farm. Fortitude is going to come from scales from fishing. Power is going to come from, I haven't come up with a name yet, but like power gems from quests. And skill points are going to come from skill gems from battling and getting rare drops. We'll put stuff there. Okay, cool. Thank you, Zapboid. So I like this idea. I think this works well. I think most people are on board with this, and this is what's going to let you customize your adventurers too. Right now, every one of your adventurers gets power in the same way at the same time. So like when you level up the rogue, you level up all of your characters. When you complete a quest, you get this benefit. It says plus 10 health, plus 1 power to all adventurers. So there's no way to be like, man, I really like the rogue. Let's put more power into them. You just can't do that. And people keep requesting equipment and stuff. I am so opposed to equipment and never want to do that. But this way lets us still let you customize these stats and then change things around. Yeah, I think it'll be nice. Yeah, I think this system essentially replaces what people would want on equipment, I think. That link doesn't work to the channel. Well, as long as you can join the Discord, I think you should just be in the bug reports channel, because I don't even think we have a way of customizing this, do we? No. I think you're just in all the channels by default. Let me know if this does not show up, because that would indicate we have a problem. Oh, maybe you joined the Adam Learns Discord. Yeah, maybe this is you. But yeah, the Skeleseller Discord. Sorry, this thing about to join the Discord, click here. There's also the Skeleseller Discord in the second part of this. And that one doesn't have a cool link. All right, I'm pretty happy at least with this. I hope it sounds reasonable to other people, and we'll try this and we'll see. I'm guessing that's how a lot of people probably feel in chat if they were following any of this or care, is that like, it doesn't sound bad, but then the old system didn't sound bad, and I need to see any of this stuff. How do you get a cool link for the Discord server? I think you need enough boosts. Like at one point, Discord had a partnership system, and if you were a Twitch partner, you became a Discord partner. And they sent me a shirt, and they gave me a custom URL. But I don't know how you get that on the Skeleseller Discord. It might just be by boosting. I'm not concerned about it, though. I don't think many people are going to join it. And especially if we end up with a game that is, let's say, 5 to 10 hours long, then people probably aren't going to take the time to go to Discord. But who knows? All right, allow buying the farm, farm to track this stuff, add planting. Each plot of land has these states. So it's not really anything about a state anymore. It's either empty or there's a plant there. Yeah. Plots of land are either empty or have a plant. And then the plants have their own states. Growing, mature. It's really just growing or mature, right? There is no other thing. Maybe different stages of being mature, like maturity level 1, 2, and 3. Hovering over an empty farm plot will say something like click to plant a random seed. It won't do that anymore. What should hovering over an empty farm plot say? Maybe something like this plot is empty. drag a potion to your seed maker or something like that. Say something like, this plot is empty. Bring potions to the seed maker to plant a random seed. Something like this. Yeah, level 3, 14 boost. Custom invite link. Wow. Well, I'm glad I don't need that. How much does that cost? Discord boost. It's like $70 a month or something, right? I mean, I know not one person needs it isn't that one person needs to spend all that. But yeah, how does Discord Nitro? This lets you boost 2 servers. How much does that cost? Where's the price? I'm done looking into this. I don't care anymore. Yeah, I'm not concerned about getting it for Skeleseller. All right, clicking should take money. We're not going to do that anymore. Manifest crop data, seed graphic. That we need to do. But I guess we need to start with a seed maker. It's also through partnership. Yeah, I just didn't know partnership is still a thing anymore. I wonder if it's a grandfathered in system. But yeah, the Adam Learns Discord should be in a partnership. Should we come up with a cool name for the seed maker? What do we call the seed maker? I guess maybe the question is really, what's happening that gives you seeds from potions? It'd be nice if this were a farming slime. But that there was some automatic way of doing this. If it were a farming slime, I guess you'd get seeds from anything, right? It's not absolutely no reason. We get a cool link. $9.99 gives you 2 server boosts. So yeah, it'd be 70 a month, I guess, if you just did it that way. But how much is the... it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah. I'm not going to go that route. I wouldn't ask other people to boost that server. If it were, then I think you would be allowed to bring any item to it for seeds. I think dragging items to a slime is not the most interesting thing, though. But there'd probably be a switch that would say, like, hey, have your workers prioritize bringing items here. But then they'd be prioritizing bringing any item there. And I don't think that would be good. I think this should be from potions. So I think we're going to cut this one out for now. So what's happening that gives you seeds from potions? I guess the same thing that happens for fish eggs. No, the fish egg thing is that there are fish eggs in the potions. Which is gross and makes no sense. But it could also be cheap items or selected items. It could be, the thing I want to be careful about is I don't want you to have to customize too much. Right now in the game, if you look at all these things, like we have, okay, small blue potion there, then hooded cloak and yellow potion, that's already 3 unique items. Then we added boots and the big life potion, that's 5 now. Then the demon helmet and the bow, that's 7. Then the cane, that makes it 8. And then this adds in 3 more, I think. So like 11 unique items. Imagine having a UI that was like, okay, only take this item, this item, this item, but not these 3, and then these next 3. Like, I just wouldn't want people to have to customize to that level. And chances are, I guess you're not getting that many different ones at once anyway. Like probably you're going to be battling, let's say, here with a couple of characters, and maybe over here with a couple of characters, and maybe over here with your last, 1 or 2. And so the items you get out of into your warehouse are going to be a subset of everything you could find. Didn't I already talk about a name for this a while ago? And I came up with the fertilizer, or someone in chat did. What do we name it? The grow it all. Still kind of like that. Yeah, Triska did come up with a name. The compostioning. Yeah, it could be like a compost pile. Does that make sense? You don't get seeds out of a compost pile. Give it a potion, it gives you a random seed. Oh, like a tree slime. You're saying a tree slime. Yeah. How's it going, Impressal? Tree slime? Seed it to me. All right, how much does this matter right now? I guess it's going to affect a bunch of class names, but it's just a graphic in the end. So I guess we'll call it a seed maker still. And if it ends up turning into a tree slime, I think that's fine. Sitting there with 8 zombies. I think they only don't die if you've got vampiric bite, right? Otherwise, I think they should be dying. Because I think that's the only thing that stops them. And I'm actually not even sure that's the fastest way to farm with a witch doctor. I think maybe if you get zombie legion and bursting horde and not vampiric bite, it might be fast. So something like this. And then we go to the pond with the witch doctor and make sure we have a million fish. Okay, let's see. So when this dies, it should damage everything. And then eventually they'll just be in this like nonstop cycle. Oh my God, they do a million damage. Whoa. All right, so now it should just fill up my whole thing with zombies. And yeah. Yeah, this might actually be even faster for them to die. Yeah. This should never happen. Which means there actually is a bug here. Hmm. Yeah, there should never be slots that are empty. Oh, or maybe it is working just fine and it's got to fade out the fish first. It's very hard to tell. And you help it to do that with the potion. Perhaps I'm taking too much of a lore angle. Yeah, I like the idea of a tree slime. It's just, I think you'd be feeding it the potions. And then I think we need a switch that makes sense that it's like prioritized sending things to the tree slime. Maybe there's a way to do that in like a cutesy, lore appropriate way. Yeah, I'm not certain that this is working how it should be working. I'm going to write a note about this. Bug. I think that bursting horde in a fishing battle causes fish to disappear, but none to replace them. Or maybe only one to replace them. The battle doesn't get stuck, but I think it could get stuck. Yeah, I don't know. We call it a slime and What if instead of potions, your workers take weapons and hit the tree slime with it? So the tree slime drops seeds. So in order for your workers or whatever to hit them, it would mean you have to enter a battle. I do want to avoid battling for this. Fun guy angle. Right, hovering around empty plots is this. Clicking it should take money. That's not going to be the case anymore. We need to give you, oh, that's why I wanted to write this up there. Okay, so we got to give this to you first. So this is the seed maker. The seed maker needs to track the total value of potions brought. Make sure this is navigable. Give an in-world toggle switch. When on and an empty plot exists, it'll become a valid destination for potions for workers. Switch should have a tooltip saying what it does. If both this switch and the extraction switch are on, workers will randomly pick a destination. So involve modifying this. Currently, the function forces an entity to move to the extractor. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. When a potion is brought to the seed maker, it'll be converted into a seed and automatically planted in a random plot. So I guess this is not a thing anymore. Manifesting crop data needs to be here. Clicking the planted seed will fertilize it, not a thing anymore. Clicking a mature plant will harvest it. Plants grow over time. and probably show different sprites based on maturity. Clicking a mature plant will harvest it. Eventually, maybe allow workers to harvest plants. Yeah, that's got to be an upgrade. Upgrade the size of your farm. That might be a thing eventually. I don't know about that. Let's just delete that for now. You can change the chances to get good seeds. Add a plant all button is not a thing. Add a seed machine. We don't need that. Add some perks for fruit trees. Allow workers to harvest crops. Have to be very careful with this. Need to make some kind of scheduler for the farm so that only one worker goes to do this at a time and then just harvest everything. Or maybe it's a scythe machine that does it, and every time it spins, it harvests one crop. Something like that. Okay, save how much food you have, how much you can hold, save each plot of land, empty versus planted. Save the seed maker's internal gold accumulated value. Okay, so let's save this. So I think we have everything here now. How much time do I have? I could probably spend an hour or two on this. So let's get started. Okay, I think we delete everything I've just done because all I did was add in like a random little plot of land here that you could click, 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 and that's it. Just cycles through these things. And that was just to get an idea of like, what does this look like? I think this is helpful to do. Also, it took barely any time. Just getting an idea for when you see this stuff visually, I think it helps ideation. Yeah, so let's delete all that. Discard. Okay, now go open this again. Close everything, delete, goodbye. Now let's make a new branch. Get status. Why is there an asterisk? Fix bug with null town. Did I not push that? Oh, that means I have something in the stash. Make battle party member. When's that from? Can you see when a stash entry is from? I don't know when I did that. List, log options. What are the log options? List with its name. Applicable to get log command to show what is there. See get log. Oh my god. It says 2 p.m. What? No, I'm talking about when the stash was done. Get stash, see when stash was added. Get stash show dash p. Hold on a second. There's got to be an easy way to do this. Get stash list dash dash date equals local. Friday, February 7th. This was like a month ago. I don't think this is important. What was this? Oh, what was this indeed? I don't know. I don't think this is anything important. Yeah, I'm going to just delete all this. All right, reset. And how do we delete that from the stash? Help. I typed the British help command. Drop. Get stash drop. Okay, nice. Our asterisk going away now. Cool. If both switches are on, which one do they prioritize? I wanted it to be random. Yeah. It might have been when I was removing elements from them. I don't remember. Okay, so now we do a get checkout dash B farming. Hooray. All right. So allow buying the farm, show a sign, etc. Let's go do that. So we have let's delete this. We have the fishing sign. Let's go save this as the farming sign. Or farm sign, farm sign, farm sign. Yeah, farm sign. I like that. Okay, so you are the farm sign. All right, we need a cost for the farm. I'm not going to come up with this right now. Farm pond. Farm cost is 25. That sounds great. Build farm. Farm allows you to grow crops to permanently raise your adventurer's health. Okay. Place on build building. Town dot create farm. We don't need more of that. Well, we might not need more of that. I don't know, actually. There's some scarecrow angle here. I think what I'd rather do, so crows represent a penalty, and then scarecrows represent a way to avoid the penalty. I'd rather there be something representing a benefit and, I don't know, like a scarecrow equivalent being a way to get that benefit. So pretty much if something can be framed positively, I want to frame it positively. And scarecrows to me are a way of avoiding a negative. So I don't like that idea. Because the thing is, if it changes how you play the game, then that could be interesting. But since this is going to be automated, it's probably not going to change how you play the game too much. And it's going to feel a little worse. In a game like Stardew Valley, where scarecrows mattered, you had to obtain the scarecrow. Then you had to place it. And as your farm kind of evolved, maybe you want to move it or something. Maybe you need to change the layout of things. Changing the layout wasn't as simple as just like click and drag everything. It was like, well, now wait for the next planting cycle. Maybe winter rolls around and you're like, oh, thank goodness I can fix all my scarecrows. So there were a little bit more things to consider there than there would be in Skeleseller. All right, so create farm. Are we going to fade this in? I don't know, but I'm going to make this probably as basic as possible. All right, before we do any of this, because none of this needs to exist right now, let us go and make a new sign. Farm sign. Call this farm sign. Great. Go put this inside the town somewhere. I want it to be off to the left, but I guess we should consider this for a little bit longer before I do that. Let's look at I closed the game. All right, well, fishing pond goes down here. Tavern goes there. Nothing's going off to the left right now. So I think having the farm be over here in this general area would be good, especially if your workers have to bring potions there. So yeah, let's put it right around there. I will duplicate this. We'll call this, oh wait, no, we can't do that way. All right, delete that. Instantiate in a farm sign. And then put this down here somewhere. Right around there, sure, whatever. The positioning will eventually matter for if we have it clear out the ground, but I'm probably not going to do that at first. All right, let's make sure this stuff works. So in signs, let's get that farm sign. Good. Also good. And then it's just like the fishing pond in that you just build this and it's done. Really should just make a generic function for this that knows which building it's associated with. Show farm sign. I'm not going to take the time to do that now. If the farm is null, then show the farm sign. I will write this down though in terms of cleanup. The code to show signs if the corresponding building doesn't exist should be simplified. Perhaps we can have a get building from the sign itself. We'll pull it from the right location, the right spot in town. This would imply having a shared interface for unbuilt buildings, which we don't have yet. iBuilding requires that the building exist in code at least, even if the player can't see it. Assuming the tree song gives you seeds because you give it potions as food, is there any chance we can call it tree feeding? Okay, that's pretty good. No, there's no chance of that. But I like how you're thinking about that. All right, so I think we got all the sign stuff done. Yeah, now we just need the town to have a farm, fishing pond. We don't have a farm class even, and this is the only stuff that should care about this. Yeah, then we need to change all this stuff. Yep, 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 yep. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. All right, so farm. Let's take it from the fishing pond. What was actually even in here? Nothing probably super important. It was just a node 2D. How is that even possible? Because it wasn't an item destination, but it had an extractor. And there was an on-click thing. Okay, let's just save this as farm. Yeah. Farm. Delete everything. And we're done. That's all it takes. You just write no code and just say that you're finished. Okay, so if we were to run this, we would hopefully have a sign that would have the right text on it. And when you click it, smoke would show up and nothing would happen. But we don't even get that far because instead we don't have the farm sign. Did I save this? Farm sign. Why does this hate me? Oh, I didn't give it the right script. Ding. Okay, try that again. Okay, so there's our farm sign. It says build farm. We click it. Allows you to grow crops to permanently raise your adventurer's health. Okay, I click build. We see smoke. Nothing happens. Yeah, that's it. All the slime names have to be slight insults. Actually, that's true. There's the garbage slime. What do we call the what do we call the seed maker slime? Man, I don't know. Let's see, with garbage, it's like you're recycling items. With seeds, it's like you're forming new life. So what would be an insulting name? I don't know. Dirt slime. Yeah, actually dirt slime could work. The dirt slime. I'm gonna copy this down. Mud slime? Dirt slime, mud slime, grime slime. Grime wouldn't, I don't think I'd associate that with farming or seeds. But dirt and mud, I would. I can't think if there's anything else. Yeah. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so we got the sign. What else do we need now? Show the sign after defeating the second boss. Is that what happens? I think there's a show all remaining signs here. Show all remaining signs. This should get called after you beat the next boss. Yep. Okay, that's good then. Done and done. We actually did not verify the first thing that I said done for, so let's go verify that before I actually say that it's done. We will stop skipping the tutorial. Soil slime. Soil slime doesn't sound insulting though. Soil and dirt can be the same thing, but dirt sounds worse. And if we want them to have insulting names, then we need it to be dirt. All right, so now we should not see the farm sign. Yeah, it's not there. And we click show all signs and it shows up. If we save and we can't save because I'm in the tutorial. All right, well then, there probably is a way to test this actually. Beekeeper perk that has confused bees trying to pollinate the tree slime, accidentally feeding and increasing seed production. I like the idea of some kind of beekeeping mechanic, but I think I'd want it to be a little bit separate. But maybe this stuff could be part of the farm. Either way, I will jot this down in this thing that I might not ever see again, but it'll remain in the recesses of my memory for eons. All right, save, load. Yeah, it doesn't show up. Okay, That is actually working as expected. And then if I were to beat the first boss, doesn't show up. If I beat the next boss, I can't do that. Oop, did I? Oh, I clicked it. Rat. Yeah, I accidentally cheated in the wrong way. I meant to do this. No. Hang on, we'll get there. All right. Upgrade and start and win. Okay, now the sign should show up. Yeah, there it is. And now if I save and load, it'll still show up. Perfect. Okay, all that's working. Show the farm in the town on the town map after purchasing it. It should start as a 2x2 plot of land with enough space to grow up to say 7x7. Okay, I am gonna cut some corners here. We're gonna make this very simple, I think. So the farm scene should contain a farmer. Did I write an NPC? Yeah. It should contain a farmer. It should contain the land, but it should probably contain the land as individual plots so that we can render the seeds in the right spot. Probably needs to contain, where to render seeds. They're like item displays in that sense. Chaff slime. It's the official definition of chaff. The husks of corn or other seed separated by winnowing and or threshing. Problem is, I don't think people generally know this word. For the same reason I didn't use roe when I was talking about the fish. I don't want to use the word chaff probably too much. But otherwise, I think it's a good name. And we'll copy it for that reason. But yeah, I think people kind of glaze over if they hear that. Then they'll get mad and downvote the game. Then I'll have to pivot completely. Can't make Skeleseller anymore. Sorry, I was trailing off because I forgot my original train of thought there and then just started. What's it? Free associating. Show farm on the map. Yeah. Starting as a plot of land. So it's basically how do I do this? And I think I said I was going to do just like item displays. So we'd have the land and then we'd have some nodes that represent how this is going to be rendered. And then based on the farm size, we might grow this differently. And I guess this depends on how do you increase the size of the farm. So it starts as 2x2. So you can plant 4 crops. Then maybe like upgrade 1 just makes it 3x3. So now you can plant 9 crops. And upgrade 2. So it's like maybe it's always square. It doesn't have to be square, rather. I don't really care about that. But maybe, 2x2, 4x2, 6x3, something. 16 crops. And upgrade 3 could maybe put it at the max of this. Is that interesting? At any given time, you're increasing by enough that it's not like a small upgrade. But is that too much at once, going from 4 to 9? I mean, if it is, we could just rebalance the whole game so that you start at a 3x3 and that makes sense for you. But I think starting you at 2x2 is good. So yeah, I think we should do this. So if we're going to do it this way, then we can always know the layout of your crops because it's always just going to be a square. Otherwise, we might need to account for, well, pretty much like what's happening in the warehouse. The warehouse, you build it, you get 4 displays. So it's a line right now. Now it's a longer line. And now it's not quite a rectangle. And now it's a rectangle. You can do 1x4, 2x4, 4x4. Yeah, the only issue with that is that at any given time, you're adding the same amount. So going to level 2 is doubling. Then to level 3 is plus 50%. Then to level 4 is plus 33%. And so on and so forth. Like that number is dropping. And technically, I guess the same thing's kind of happening here, right? You're more than doubling it the first time, and you're about doubling it the second time, but then you're not quite doubling it. In fact, at any given point, if you're talking about x squared, To go to x plus 1 squared is, of course, adding x plus 1. So here we're adding 4 plus 4 plus 1, or 9. And I think that's a good enough formula. So yes, it's diminishing returns, but it's not linearly diminishing. Anyway, okay, let's go make our farm scene. So make a new scene. Call this the farm. Add in a tile map layer. Give this the world. We're not going to make this look good. We're going to do exactly what we just did before. We're just going to make a rectangle of stuff. Yeah. That is not at all the tool I thought I had selected. It can't actually look like this, right? Because then this would look like you could plant everywhere. I guess that brings up an interesting question. How does this look like it's growing then? Maybe, oh, maybe what you're doing, okay, this is kind of interesting. What if you always had the same size farm, but there were just rocks and stuff on it, and you cleared out the rocks? I guess it wouldn't make sense from a logic perspective, because in order to build the farm, it cost you like 25 gold, and you cleared out like a ton of trees, right? And in order to build the fishing pond, again, I don't know how much that would cost in terms of money, but way more than 25 gold apparently. And you were able to clear out trees and stuff. So would it make the most sense to have stones and whatever else on here? Do we have some stone graphics we can use? Yeah, we do. Do we have like boulder graphics though? We have large stones. Exterior. Those are sort of large. Anything else? Like that could maybe work. We could just put a bunch of different stone graphics on it. Why does this look weird though? What did they plan on using this for? Because it looks like those are two different kinds of sprites. Oh, maybe there's a base that's in grass and a base that's not in grass. Okay, yeah, that's what there's probably for. So like this is what you'd use on its own. I wanted like large boulders that could be there. Let's look this up on itch and just see what they use for that. Exterior pack. Do they ever use those stones? There's one. And there are some more. Yeah, I like the idea of clearing out your farm rather than building more of the plot of land. I also like the idea of surrounding this with a fence. Especially if you plowed and unplowed land, you can only plant in the plowed plots. When you upgrade, you plow the rest. Do we have graphics that look like unplowed land though? Yeah, I think I kind of want to just put a bunch of rocks there. Where are the big rocks? Ground sprites and details. I think we need to make a custom thing for this. Okay, then what I'll do at first is I'll just put regular rocks on here because we have those graphics. Yeah, so then what we need is we need to accommodate the largest plot of land you have. And for that, I guess I need to do a few things. This will take a little bit of time to figure out. So exterior, let's put farming here. Put all the farm plants in. And then I wanna put those in through, I guess, a tile map layer. Plant test. This is not gonna stay this way. I just want to see what this will look like. Plant. Okay, what happened to the tiles? So there. Okay, so, ooh, that's not good. It doesn't have the right tile size? Or there's an offset here? Oh, here we go, margins. Yeah, this looks fine. Then it starts to be off by a bit. Is there just some separation here? I think that's it. No, not quite. That's it, maybe. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. Guess another option would be use grass as the sprite. Can't plant where there's grass. As long as it's not like, okay, in Pokemon Blue, for example, they had, yeah, like this. There were these trees that you had to cut down using an HM cut. And it looks like any other tree, but you can only cut this kind of tree. And there's no concept of you moving around it or through it. Like woods don't look like that, where they're just solid barriers of vertical planks that go on forever. So it's like, ah, well, whatever. It doesn't really make sense, but it was a Game Boy game. Like, are people going to be annoyed by that game logic in this game? Like, there's grass there, so what? Let me plant there. What if this is a giant lazy slime? We call it lazy slime. Snorlax. Just spitballing here. I think that's a great name. All right, why does this not look centered? Yeah, I think there should be some space between the crops. So what I'm trying to figure out is how much space do we need for a 5x5 farm? Do people agree? Does this look better spaced out, or do you want these close together? I don't actually know. Maybe they would look good close together. I guess let's try all the different kinds of crops. Like a pumpkin just looks like that. This can go here. All right, so this is dense farm. And I guess let's have the same farm, but just not as dense. What is the shortcut for this? P. There, 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 there. All right. Sparse or dense? And give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Definitely can't plant just anywhere and hope to have success. Got to till, compost, etc. Thanks, Miracle. Sparse IMO. Sparse looks a bit better. Yeah, I guess if they're going to be different. Okay. And we could always cut this down in the future. It will make it a little harder to wipe out the town that's behind it all. But okay, more people vote for sparse. Now, if you were planting the same crop over and over, let's see what that, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. But yeah, if you planted the same crop. I don't know. And yeah, I don't know. Let me try some things here. Delete all of this. There, and then let's get this crop here. I kind of like the dense way. It was just the 1 block pumpkin that was making me lean towards sparse. Yeah, I sort of like the idea of them being densely packed. I guess this is stopping you from seeing the ones that are behind this, though. Yeah, okay. This is convincing me that maybe this is a bad idea. Because these are 2 tiles tall. Although we could slide all of these down. So I could do this and put this here. I don't know. Very, very torn. Lose the pumpkin? I don't want to lose the pumpkin, though. We're going to have pumpkins that you can grow. Man, I like the idea of them. This could this could work. It does kind of look like these are one plant though, this right here. Hmm. Oh, also something else I just thought of is maybe the harvesting is not actually the part that takes time. Maybe it's cutting down the rest of the plant at some point. Like workers have to come and take that out so that they can till the land again. Can you make a double decker pumpkin? Yeah, sure. I guess that's as close as they'd be to one another. I think that looks good. I just don't like this right here. This looks like one mega tree that's just growing two different crops. In fact, if we made them grow the same crop, so if I put this here, it kind of works. It's like I want them to be maybe 2 pixels taller or something. Okay, I think I'm on team dense. Dense would for sure be best. I don't know. I like it. I like that there's all this stuff in this little area. Can you offset them by a little? Yeah, I can. I don't know if you can do that through here or if I have to do it through something else. What if we just increase the tile size a bit? No, that's the tile size of the tile map. Huh, I don't know how you do that. Or flip the image? Flip in horizontal or vertical? Because I was going to say, I don't know if flipping this would matter too much. Maybe we can use 8x8 tile maps here and have smaller spaces in between plants. Okay, hold on. Let me take a look at this first. So Godot, tile map, offset, tiles. Why sort origin? That's it. Margin, I guess. Space. Pumpkins grow on vines that spread throughout a larger area. Could you do a 2x2 for pumpkins? While I can, I'm probably not going to follow that rule for the game. But yeah, I think you just move the tile map layer node. But if I want to add, let's say 2 pixels between these plots, I guess this isn't going to be a tile map eventually. I am just going to make plots that I could put as far apart as we want. So yeah, I guess we could do that. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I've convinced myself then. Horizontal flip. Yeah, we can horizontal flip any of these things. So for example, I could take this and paste it here and then do this and paste it here. We could also randomly allow for that. Just H flip a sprite. Also vertically flip it, have it grow upside down. But is that interesting? It's kind of interesting. I'll write it down as an idea. Polish / cleanup. Consider randomly H flipping sprites for plants. They still look pretty good. Yeah, so I am convinced then that we will just separate the plots of land by a certain amount. And they don't need to be this dense, but they also don't need to be super sparse. And we'll see what looks good once we actually have the controls for that. So as far as mocking this up goes, let's consider that instead of having 5 plants in 5 tiles, let's have 5 plants in maybe 7 tiles. So a 5x5 farm is really now a 7x7 farm. So let's just delete everything we had in here. And then let's draw out, I'll just make it uniform because I don't feel like spending the time on this. But something like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And then we do the same thing kind of vertically. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should have started one tile higher. uh, All right. Does that work? Yeah. So we want to start this here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there. Okay, so that's our farm area that you can plant stuff. I can't make it look realistic or convincing yet, but that's pretty good. And then your NPC will go over here or something, and there will be some stone somewhere. I meant to flip so they wouldn't look like a unique entity when stacked. Oh, I see. In different rows. Got you. Yeah. I think we'll control the density of the crops, and I think that'll make it end up looking good. Do you plan on adding multiple growing stages? Yeah, I think so. Whatever we already have in this graphic, I think we can just end up using. So, for example, we have the seed. That's that everything's gonna start as a seed. And then we could do stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, and then we could vary from there based on what's growing. Like stage 5 for these tree ones, it could start getting more fruits, or it could just go to the fully populated one. Or maybe there's some randomness there. Like the fully grown ones either have 1, 2, or 3 fruits, and as you upgrade stuff, it cuts out the lower number ones. So now you can only have 2 or 3, and then you can only have 3. That's kind of interesting too. But that I guess only works for these multiple fruit ones. Like it wouldn't work for a pumpkin. Anyway, this is pretty nice. Yeah. Yeah, pretty nice. What I was saying to do it is you change the tile map size to half, and then each object would take twice as many tiles, leaving one tile in between, look like leaving half a tile on the original size. I see what you mean. Yes, that would work. But then we couldn't get an offset size of like 3 pixels, for example. And unfortunately, I don't know what's going to look good, which is why I want to mock this up and have just different crops and then figure out the spacing. So what we're going to do is we're going to eventually add in, let's write this down for this. Farm tile map, we should show rocks blocking the usable portion of the farm. So that instead of growing the plot of land, you're just clearing out the area on the land you already have. Little tiny bit torn on that, I'm not sure. Because I think it's cool to see the farm get bigger. But you'll also just kind of see it get bigger because they have more crops. Yeah, I know the duplicate tile layer thing would work too. It's just we're gonna have probably a 5x5 planting area, and how far we space the crops apart, I think we could just do via code, because we're gonna need each crop to be controlled in its own scene anyway. Okay, so we need to put an NPC somewhere. Let's go get the NPC, I guess. Save this. In fact, I would assume that a plant with 3 would give me more than a single one, if that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's how it would have to work in the game too. So instead of like all this is going to turn into like you see a mature plant, you click it, you get X food. So now X is based on the plant. And in the case that you're talking about, how many fruits are rendered on it. So maybe a tomato is 5 food and 2 would be then 10 food. So yeah, depending on how many you click, you get more food. And we could show that as soon as you click it, I guess. In fact, that's probably a good idea. Something's wrong here. Oh God. Yeah, this is bad. My to-do list does not have the right things on it. No. No, I modified this. How did that happen? I had it all typed out. Oh man. Fine. Yeah, fine. I gotta write all this stuff out again. I had it already though. What a shame. I don't know how I even messed it up. Start a 2x2 plot of land and grow, include an NPC for explanation. Sure, farm should track all this stuff. We got to put this up at the top like we did before. Good. This is now the seed maker. Total values of potions. Make it navigable. When a plot needs a seed. Invalid destination. Tooltip. If both this switch are on, we'll pick one or the other. Yep. When a potion is brought to the seed maker, they convert it into a seed and automatically planted in a random crop. Plot, I mean. Plots of land are either empty or have a plant. This made it in, huh? Hovering over an empty farm plot will say something like, this plot is empty. Yeah, some of this stuff made it in. Maybe I just didn't change everything I thought I changed. Clicking should take money. That's not true anymore. Good. Don't need this. Clicking will harvest it. And then I guess show floating text indicating how much food you got from harvesting. All right, perks. Depends on 802. Didn't I already do that? $802. No. Doesn't really fully depend on it though. You can upgrade the size of the farms. You can plant more seeds. Maybe allow for upgrading the silo. We don't need that. That's fine. That's not needed. This probably isn't needed. Allow workers to harvest crops for you. We do this, we probably need some sort of scheduler that will just take one worker to harvest everything every once in a while. Sounds good. Sure. Okay, so now let's try saving this. Yeah. Right? All the changes are there. Yeah, so the word fertilize shouldn't show up in here at all. Good. All right, where do we leave off then? Oh yeah, making this thing. So we're gonna save this in the fishing pond. Okay, yep, we already have one. So then I went for farm. Call this farm. Cool. So we have our farm. Now, when we want to make this, we need to add in the NPC. Let's get the fishing pond and just figure out what we did with the NPC there. We have a fisher. Fisher is his own NPC. We will save one as a farmer. 2 R's because they're a pirate. No, I meant to press backspace and did not. So now we have to go delete that. Farmer. There we go. Rename you to farmer. Give you a script. Fisher, farmer. Man, what is going on? I gotta clean my keyboards. What's going on? Oh, and before I check in, make sure to reload the project and launch from Godot so that we get the UID files. Okay, so you're the farmer. You've got a state machine that's got to eventually tell you how this thing works. It's not going to be fisher states, it's going to be farmer states. And I don't know what we want to include in there yet. Let's go take a look at the fisher's standby state and save this in farmer states. And then put this in the right spot. Oh my God. How do you move this? Seriously? All right, move to trash. Let's try that again. There we go. Save. All right, looks good. This is in farmer states. Now we need the greeting stuff. Fishing, greeting. Save. Actually, just move all this stuff wholesale over there, huh? What is going on? I need to fix my keyboard. All right, greeting 2 and greeting 3. I don't know if the farmer will need all 3 of these, but let's copy them in anyway. Where did I put those? Okay, should no longer complain about this pretty soon. Farm greeting. Okay, so let's change that, and that. And then just say, hi, I'll tell you how your farm works. Update this text. Yeah, good. All right, title is the farmer. Farmer. Cool. We have all the states already set up. Everything looks good there. Cool. That's all nice. All right, now let's go add in the NPC over here too. This needs the right script. And then we just put them inside the farm. On the farm, not inside the farm. Farmer, you go there. Okay, anything else that needs to be on the farm? Probably the seed machine thing. But I guess we'll do that separately. All right, so show the farm on the town map after purchasing. Let's go get that working. Scene paths. We need the fishing pond. Here it is. It's inside town. Is that where I put the farm as well? Farm.tscn. No, it's inside town/farm. Okay. I mean, that's close enough that I kind of want to just put that there, but fine, I'll put this here. Farm. And that better actually be the path that we have. Farm. Yeah, cool. Okay, then in the town where we have create farm, we're going to just take everything in here. Good. Rename all of this. Farm. Okay, the fishing pond had a special way of getting the size. The farm could also have that same way. We don't need to compute this stuff. I can just say how big it is. So how big is it? Where's the tile map? Here it is. All right, what number are you? I don't know how to see that. Oh, there we go. 11:8. And what? It starts at 0, 0. So it's actually 12 by 9. So 12 by 9. Fishing pond has some size thing here. Here it is. All right, so put this in this. 12 by 9. All right, so that'll fix the first bit of this. Let's close out of everything else that we have open so far. I don't need that stuff. So that all works. Farm sign we're using. Add this to there. Modify navigation mesh. Initialize this thing. Sure. Farm. Chicken farm. All right, we're going to initialize this. So we're just going to set the town for now. I don't think we need to do anything else yet. Well, eventually, I guess we need to initialize the farmer too. All right, where's the fisher here? Sure. Farmer. Get our ready function. We're gonna want some right click to debug something. I don't know what. Just delete this stuff for now though. Farmer. Did I make that unique? Nope. And we have plant test and whatever else that doesn't need to be there. And then the other thing we need is the town. We'll save this. Got it. We'll delete that stuff for now. All right. We're getting there. What's next? We don't have this stuff. Should fade in. Sure. Hide the sign. Unlock the farm. We eventually want this to be the case, but what happens when you unlock the fishing pond? The instance map opens up. I don't think anything needs to know about this. Yeah, I think we just delete this. And then perks. Yeah, we'll do that eventually. Clear ground. I'm not going to do that yet. All right, let's try it out. This should make the farm show up And it might be in a weird spot and it's not going to clear the ground at all. So it'll look a little out of place. Oh, it's not like terribly bad. It broke. Why did it break? Cannot create tile. Tiles outside the texture or tiles are already present in the space the tile would cover. What? I'm deleting this. And I'm probably deleting this too. Strange though. I don't know why it's giving me that error. I've never seen that before. Okay, well, that was anticlimactic. All right, cannot create tile. Yeah, why is this happening? Tile set in town, create farm, tries instantiating the farm, then it can't do it. Is there something about this that it doesn't like? Oh, now it looks glitched. I don't know what caused that to happen. Well, let's just delete this whole thing. I don't care. Because we're going to change those into their own crop classes at some point anyway. It still didn't work. We'll get there. We will get there. All right, can't cast a node 2D to a farm. Yep, forgot the script. And this has the right script, please. Yes, it does. All right, 7 times the charm. That's what they say. Hey, we did it. Yeah, so now we have an NPC. Hi, I'll tell you how your farm works. Update this text. Update this text. Well, at least they have the right name. Yeah, so there are trees here. This is where we should clear the area underneath this. I guess we'll just put that there. And then how does this work? Does this pull into the tile maps? It does. All right, so then it's going to be in the wrong spot because of our sign positioning. But we'll just go fix that. Yeah, I'm actually going to leave that as is for now. That's good enough. As for the positioning in terms of where your town is, the path here is pretty close to the dirt for the farm. I think I want this a little bit farther down so it's not so dense. But then there needs to be the seed machine somewhere. And the seed machine for the extractor for the pond goes down to here. So workers have to walk from about there down to here. They'd have to walk from here over to maybe like this spot. Yeah, I won't worry too much about positioning for now then. I think this is good enough. Okay, so we want there to be some kind of rubble on here until you've built out the rest of your farm. Tile map layer. So this one is the ground. This is going to be rocks. And maybe it's do this. Maybe this is like rocks for level 1 or something like that. I don't know, let's just call it rocks for now. Give it a new tile set. Open this up. Oh, hey, the atlas is right here. Oh, wow, there are bigger rocks here too. Well, well, well. All right, let's try pasting some of those on this. Does that look like it fits? Sort of. Not really. What about with grass on it? Is that any better? Yeah, we can make it fit. I'll just put them here for now. So we'll just get a whole bunch of different rock graphics. So at first you're going to be, wait, what did I say? Five crops over 7 tiles. So each one takes 1.4 tiles. So if you have a 2x2, it's going to take about 3 tiles. So that'll be 1, 2, and 3. So we'll put the rocks like here. Yeah, something like this. And obviously this needs to look better, but for now I'm just gonna paste these willy-nilly all over the place. Yep, yep, yep. It's gonna look so bad. Cool. And some of these. There we go. All right, we have our rock covered farm. And you're allowed to plant in this space. Should probably look a little different at some point. Okay. Hi. It's got to be some kind of record. 17 minutes with no one saying anything. I put everyone to sleep out there. So show the farm in the town map. We're done with that. Should start as a 2x2 plot of land and grow. Yep. For now, that's good. Probably include an NPC. That's fine. At some point, make it so the dialogue can offer explanations. Yeah, we should probably do that. I don't know where I wrote this down. Dialogue improvements. You should be able to bail out of a multi-part dialogue without having to click OK many times. And you should be able to steer the conversation toward what you're interested in. E.g., teach me about X versus teach me about Y. Just here listening. No, that's totally cool. I don't necessarily want to pull people out of lurking, but usually for very long stretches of time with people not chatting, it means that my chat has disconnected and I'm just missing messages. But in this case, it does not mean that. It means that everyone is being very quiet, that's all. Which, as I mentioned, is fine. Okay, so it's probably worth checking this in. This I'm just going to delete. It's probably worth checking this in so far. We're making pretty good progress already. Allow buying the farm is done. So I'm not actually using the farm plants graphic, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Had to go to sleep as I'm watching. Mostly just lurks. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, thanks for dropping in, Premix. So that you know, I'll be back online on Wednesday. I tend to stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And the plan for tomorrow, not that anyone probably cares, I've wanted to start on the marketing videos for a while now. And I thought of what I think is going to be valuable for viewers and valuable for me, which is game design problems and how I fix them. Things like, oh, hey, we had the enchanter with system X and we changed it to enchanter Y due to problems A, B, and C. And here's what the problems were. Here's what my thought process was. I think that's going to be interesting. I like hearing what other devs do for this stuff. And this is one of those like hindsight is 2020 when you have a solution and players test it and it's fun. It's like, oh, why didn't we come up with that in the first place? But it's very hard to come to these conclusions sometimes. And I remember there was some FPS that people were talking about. I don't remember the name. I don't think I ever even played it, but there was some problem where like skilled players had one thing and novice players had another thing, and they came up with like some genius reload mechanism, or like your last shot would always crit or something like that. I don't remember what they did. It was like, oh, cool. Never would have thought of that. Never would have solved the problem that way myself. So I like that creative problem solving, and I think other people will benefit from that. But that'll be a YouTube video. Maybe even my first short I ever make. All right, so the farm now exists. Farmer exists. Farm sign exists. There's all this stuff. The farm doesn't need any of this stuff yet, but it will. I guess we should run .NET format at some point too. Anything unusual about any of this stuff? No, no. Oh, I've got to fill out their dialogue. Yeah, I got to write that down. Fill out the farmer's dialogue. I have placeholders in it. Looks good. Looks good. Looks bad, but I'm not going to do anything about that yet. Yep, looks bad. That's fine. Good, 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 good. Good, yeah, cool. All right, so let's hit the plus button on this and then run .NET format. And then isn't there some like detailed report? Yeah. Well, this changed a bunch of things inside of other files. Shouldn't it have fixed them automatically? Nope, there it goes. Huh, interesting. Okay, well, let's check this in. Add foundations for the farm. You can build the farm, but it's not functional, won't be saved, etc. And then this is run.net format. Okay. The farm should track how much food you have, etc. Let's not do that yet. Or rather, that will be added naturally by doing something else at some point. I want to add in this next machine here, the seed maker. Wonder how much we can reuse from the extractor. And it's possible that it's a decent amount. Let's pull up the extractor. So what is this thing? It is a script. It's a sprite, which we don't know what this stuff's going to look like yet, so we could use the same sprite. It's a lever, which again, we don't know what this is going to look like yet. It's an outline. It's a clickable area. It's a static body, so the workers bump into it, and it's got a drop-off point. So pretty much all the same stuff is applicable to the point where we might as well just duplicate it. SpaceX launches in 40 minutes, FYI. Oh, cool. Yeah, I always like how there's some chatter on Discord about it around when it happens. I don't myself end up watching that stuff usually, but it's impressive that it's happening and people get excited about it. And I like the excitement. So the proper way we should do this is to make a base scene out of this that is something like, I don't even know what we call it, like potion machine or something like that. Or item machine. Yeah, maybe we call it item machine. Yeah, so that's what I think we do. Make item machine.tscn and then have the extractor inherit from it. And what's this new thing called? Seed maker. And then we do the same thing with the script. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I never like this process. It's not even that hard. It's just, I just don't like it. So let's go do it, but I'm going to be annoyed by it. So this is going to get saved as item machine, which is going to go in objects, I guess. Yeah, item machine. And then we call this item machine. And now we need a script for it. We have the extractor, just in scene scripts. Let's call this item machine. Item machine. Cool. Okay. So now I think we have the item machine fully done. Now we need to do is have the extractor inherit from this and give it a special script. Oh, and also use this. Item machine. Yeah. All right, so now we make a new scene. We go navigate to that. There it is. We call this the extractor. We give it the script. Save it in the right spot, which is in the fishing pond. It'll overwrite it. And then give it the right script, which we did. Yeah. Then we do the exact same thing for the, what are we calling it? Seed maker. So objects, item machine, call this the seed maker. Save this as the farm seed maker. Now we need a script for that too. So let's go get the extractor and save this as seed maker inside the farm. Where is that? In here. Cool. And then assign the script. All right, that was step one. That was the easy part. Is that the name for your seed spitter? Yeah, at least through code. We were talking about maybe making another slime for this and calling it the dirt slime. And you give it potions and it spits out seeds. Yeah, mud slime, dirt slime. I like dirt slime because I think it's more insulting and we already have a garbage slime. And I like the playful levity of calling slimes idiots. Okay, so this needs to inherit from the item machine. And so does the extractor. Let's close everything else that we have open. We don't need this stuff. Yeah. So you inherit from the same thing, and the item machine is here. Okay. Now for the fun part, quote unquote fun. Hey, Hyper. We need to wipe out basically all of the code in extractor that belongs in item machine. So something like base item value per fish, that definitely only belongs in the extractor. The lever, the town, this stuff, the fishing pond isn't needed here. Yeah, won't this be fun? We're gonna break everything. Everything. But that's why I said this task sucks. What are you gonna do about it? All right, ready. Anything special in here? Doesn't look like it. Anything special in init? Yes. Because we need the... Oh, we need that too. The lever initialized. Oh boy. Hey, Chris. It's going pretty well. Today, we ended up doing design, which I wasn't planning on doing, game design, because I didn't think the farm sounded very fun on paper, and we changed it a little bit. And now we're going to try to prototype, well, not really prototype. We're going to try to just make it and then see how it feels. In fact, I should probably write that somewhere in this task. Like, see if it's fun. Did it turn out to be fun? Maybe before doing any of that stuff, before moving on, see if this feels fun. Maybe try playing a real game for a bit. Although then the farm would need to grant money or something. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing this come to life, though. We just have quite a long slog to get there. Okay, so here we took in a fishing pond for no reason. We definitely need the town. This should be protected. Oh man, it's gonna change a lot. And we need the lever to be initialized correctly too. Toggled can be there. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, this is what's fun, is going through every single line of code in this class. I'll stop complaining. we'll just do it. All right, so we need to call the base init here, which is just init for the town. Then the lever becomes protected. The town becomes protected, so that we can initialize that from the root. Alternatively, we pass in the name of the machine directly into here. I think that could work, and then this thing could define it. And we wouldn't probably even need the lever outside of this. No, we wouldn't. Yeah, we wouldn't. Clever. All right, let's make this private again then. And let's have this taken a string. What do we call that? Like machine name? Yeah, machine name. Okie dokes. Machine name. I'll never toggle is fine. This doesn't need to be here. Okay, so we initialize this with the extractor. Delete. Save the fishing pond. Don't need that. All right, we're looking good so far. All right, delete this. This stays in the parent class. We don't need these things here. We don't need this. What does drop off item do? Nothing special, which is great. Where's this function? Okay, so that needs to be protected and then overridden by the child class. Yeah, so this is protected void. Or int, sorry, my bad, virtual. I knew it started with a V. My brain's going nuts. Protected members should come forward private. Yeah, I don't care about that right now. And this doesn't even need to exist. So we should like throw a new non-implemented exception, yeah. And then in the overridden part of this, this needs to be here with an override. Then we can delete the drop-off item function. Will accept item is needed as part of this. Will accept item. Oh man. This shouldn't even need to be defined. I'd love to make this abstract, I can't do that. This needs to have the interface, but this doesn't know how to define it. Can we just delete it? I think it's going to say that this doesn't define the... Yeah, it doesn't. Well, we can throw an exception. This is technically an abstract class. We just can't mark it abstract because it's a partial class with Godot, and it doesn't let you do that. So if I delete this, it's going to complain missing partial. And if you have partial, then you can't have it be abstract as well. Wait, what? Right? That's allowed? I thought that wasn't allowed. Maybe I was wrong about this. Huh. Okay, well, let's finish the rest of this stuff before I come back to that. It's just the order that they appear. Apparently, I've never used a partial abstract. I always tried partial abstract, and I saw an error, which apparently was just about the ordering. And you can apparently make it abstract partial, which I'm kind of surprised about because I feel like they should be allowed in any order, but what do I know? Okay, so load from save data. This needs to load from different save data. So we actually probably won't have a load function here at all. Turn in item. This also probably needs to be something different. Accumulated item value. So it plays a sound. The sound might be different. And then it gives you some fish. All right, so let's make this protected virtual void. And the fish stuff should go in the derived class. The rest of this stuff can be here. Yeah. Seems reasonable. No idea why it only works in one order. Yeah. Does seem reasonable. This is the accumulated item value. Could make that or protected set. All right, turn an item. All right, we got to be careful about this. So turn an item, plays a sound, accumulates a value, freeze. Plays a sound, accumulates a value, freeze. So all that stuff is gone now. And instead, we do protected override and then call the base class void. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I tried agent mode of Copilot. I tried the one on GitHub and didn't like it. I haven't tried the one here. I should probably give it a shot at some point. Okay, item quantity be accepted. It's protected. Wait, then we can mark this abstract now, can't we? That's the problem I had before. We don't need these. How do you... Oh, you put a semicolon? Yeah. I thought this was impossible. So yeah, let's delete that too. Abstract. Wow. Hey, Jedi Potato. Is there anywhere else I have a non-implemented exception? No. Toggled lever, I don't care about. Okay, how are we doing now? This hides inherited member. Do we have this? It's abstract. Oh, because I got to override it. Okay, I think we're good. So we need pretty much all of this to exist in the farm as well. Doesn't feel abstract, but it exists. I think that can sometimes be helpful. Like sometimes you have an abstract method like, I'm just gonna make something up here. You have something like get value, and then you have a get value times 10. I mean, I know you wouldn't have a function like this. And the default thing should just be get value times 10. But this, never mind. It doesn't matter. And I would need to come up with a non-contrived scenario. This abstract partial thing's left me dumbstruck. I thought it was impossible. I don't know how I concluded that. And now I wonder, where did we want to do that and couldn't? Because I even think I have it in my notes somewhere about C# and Godot and that you can't have abstract classes. Abstract classes don't play nice with Godot classes. You may get an error about a script not loading. Oh, so then this is still a problem. So whatever I'm doing is about to totally break. Abstract scripts to nodes is supported. Reason why it probably works is allowed us to implement this. No longer the case. Is this a thing again? All right, well, I'm guessing this is all going to break as soon as I try to build. So we should probably try to build pretty soon here. Let's copy all of this stuff into here for now so that it at least doesn't complain. And we call this the seed maker. If you don't assign the abstract script, the problem is I do assign it. So I don't know what this is going to do for me here. It built. And we can, well, making the farm is not all that interesting, I guess. Also cool. I like the rocks on there. All right, game reference not set to an instance of an object. Init. Was the lever doesn't exist? Item machine, where's this getting called from? Calling it here because we don't add this yet. Man. All right, what? The lever doesn't exist, which means where's ready? I didn't even make it ready? Well, that seems like a problem. Seems like a pretty big problem. Where is that? How did I just delete this thing? Okay, that's a mistake. I somehow just deleted the entire thing and never put it in. Okay, so that might fix this. Yeah, missing ready. I must have deleted it from both classes. I'm pretty sure I was thinking the right thing and my fingers were betraying me. But this just seems to work. What, did this get magically fixed by some .NET change, I wonder? Does it accept potions? If I turn this off, they go away. Turn it on, it can come back. Phew, looks fine. I don't know. Okay, well, I guess that's nice. All right, well, we have the fishing pond, and the fishing pond has its extractor right there. Oh, right, there's going to be a tiny problem, right? Which is that the extractor was supposed to take potions and put it into water. The seed maker is supposed to take potions and put it into land. It doesn't really make sense that there's a pipe going into here, but I guess let's not worry about that. You're not assigning it? I think I'm assigning it. I have item machine, and I'm assigning it in this at least. Granted, nothing is instantiating item machine. But I'm kind of surprised it didn't complain at all about any of that. Oh, wait. Oh, there it is. Cannot set object script. Script should not be abstract. How fun. Let's delete it. So now we're not allowed to have abstract methods, which means this needs to be just virtual. And it needs to just say throw new, not implemented. Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, there's the kaboom. You got it. The old ESK striking again. So now we should have the exact same thing, but no error in the console, right? I might have to build the fishing pond for this to not break. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go add in our weird sand extractor thingy and put it in the farm. We are going to put it in, do I have a seed maker? Yeah, seed maker. We're going to put this up here. This doesn't really make sense. Yeah. Okay, so the fishing pond got its extractor and then did a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to need the same thing over here too. And there's an on clicked for this. What did this do and why did it take an event? Presumably because we needed to stop something else from happening. Yeah, what listened for this? I see. Okay. Yeah, we need the same thing over here. All right, let's plug everything in. So fishing pond, we need the farm. So it's going to be on clicked seed maker. We need system imported. All right, good. Next up, extractors. This is on toggle. What does this do? It tells, oh God. It tells the workers this, and this is going to break things. And I'm not even sure how to make this not break things. I think this is going to be somewhat tough, but let's worry about that later. For now, let's just copy paste stuff because that's easy. All right, what next? Any other extractor stuff? This is going to be the seed maker. Good job. All right, what next? Don't care about that stuff for now. Already got that. Initialize, toggle lever, etc. Load from save data. Okay. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. We are getting there. This comes from init. And we don't have any of these things, right? Because these no longer need extractor in them. Seed maker. Okay, this is initializing what? A nothing is what it's initializing. You're dead to me, fishing pond. Dead to me. All right, base item value per fish. I can just delete this stuff for now. Item value per fish. I don't know why we even use this. Will accept item. We need to not have the farm be full for this. Farm dot has empty plot. All right, where's that function? What's it even called? The extractor had it. Is full. All right, farm, you're going to get this. Go above here. So has empty plot is going to always just return true for right now. And we're going to put it to do actually implement this. Is it a bug that the fishing pond doesn't put the fish into battle? If I kill all fish at once with exploding zombies, the pond eventually stops. Yeah, I just wrote that down earlier. Yeah. And I don't know how that never happened before. I guess because Bursting Horde does so much damage that it usually kills like 6 things at once. Probably shouldn't be too late to work on a... Oh, probably shouldn't be too late to bed on a work night, so I'm going to head out. All right, take care, Zaphoid. Yeah, and I look forward to reading the bug reports that you shared. Well, hopefully you shared. And if not, then, then there are no bugs. Yeah. I see that you did post them, so thank you. Yeah, have a good one. Hey, Warner, working on farming today. Kevin's been all over him? Okay, cool. Yeah, working on farming. Oh, actually, I guess it's no longer designing. I'll change that really fast. Eat today. Adam is coding the newly redesigned, well, I guess just newly designed farming system. I don't want to sound like there's... I'll show you what we've got in just a sec. I just need to get through this stuff. So what's the problem here? Just ordering and eventually not follow property. Ah, yes. All right, what are we doing wrong over here now? Turn in item. Turn in item needs to potentially plant a seed. Yeah, to do potentially plant a seed based on accumulated item value. I'll just copy paste that for now. And then get item quantity to be accepted. Let's just return 1. I don't know to do implement this. Work just doesn't flow. I'm sorry to hear that. especially because I know that you, of all people, have defined your job as basically perfect. So I'm hoping it's just one little faint blip in the sea of otherwise great days, and that you get back on the horse tomorrow and everything's great. I think, honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with sleep. Do you feel like you got good sleep last night? All right, can we run this? I hope you're ready for a very underwhelming demo. So here's what we've been working on. This sign is how you build your farm, and you click build, and you get a farm, and you can't plant anything yet, and maybe you can use this. I don't actually know. Although workers can't get there. So what happens when we drag this here? Nothing. Oh yeah, because it's not known as a destination yet. So clicking this won't do anything either. Haven't gotten a good day's sleep for 4 days. Wow. Yeah, well that's your problem right there. I'm the human debugger now. That will be $100,000 for your human surgery. Been sleeping like 4 hours each day. Yeah, that is rough. All right, there is quite a lot to clean up here, and I am starting to run out of steam myself. A wild name for a doctor. Imagine if that's what it was. Like AI named themselves the human debuggers. I will set a breakpoint in your chest cavity. Yeah. I wonder if in the case of the farm, we should always show it and let you clear the rocks. That's a good point. Actually, I'm not sure. Because if you saw the farmland there, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'll write that down. It would certainly make our lives easier. All right, I'll paste this here. So how much of this can we get done with for now? So SeedMaker needs to track this. We did that. Make sure this is navigable. We did not do that. Where art thou, navigability? Environment. All right, I'd love to see this in context. I guess let's just, it's right there. It's between the apple tree and the other tree. So there's the apple tree, there's the other tree. So we need to carve out that little nav thing right there. Watch me do this. Watch this. Done. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Done. We can clear out all three of those if we want. That mushroom should probably be gone, though. What do we do over here? I guess this is all going to get replaced by path. Yeah, so if we're going to do this, then I guess we also need to add in some extra nav stuff over here. Like so, that way they can't go like way out of bounds. There. All right, we made it navigable. Give it an in-world toggle switch. When on and when a plot needs a seed. Yep, manifest crop data. We haven't done that. Switch, I have a tooltip saying what it does. Does it? I don't actually, what does it say? Click to turn on. When on, workers will prioritize bringing potions to the seed maker. Okay, sounds good. Both the switch and that are on. When a potion is brought to it, it'll be converted to a seed automatically planted in a random plot. Yeah, well, none of that's going to work. Okay, let's try to get it so that we can drop a potion on here. I think that's probably pretty good progress. But we need to search for the extractor. And this is bad. Let's just get rid of all these things. I just want code here. Oh, we'll need sound effects, right? What's the sound effect? Water elemental damage. Because of... Oh, no, that might actually work. Because you are dropping it into a... Let's not worry about this right now. Nothing listens for these. Nothing does anything. Yeah. I have I have some to-do items in here. I think they are about to grow. Where's the farm? Yeah, nothing listens for this. Nope. And nothing listens for this. Nope. Okay. So let's just put to-dos about both of these. Add listeners for this. All right, one step at a time. I think the next step is making it so that you can manually drop an item on here. For that to work, though, we need this on clicked to be listened to. And that will come from here. I guess we can just listen to both of these things on. All right, farm. And then instead of extractor, it's the seed maker. Okay, so there is a toggled extractor, which is used for drop-off item. Workers are probably just never going to consider this thing. I think it's going to be too hard to do this for right now. When I say too hard, I mean too hard in the last like 20 minutes of good brain time I have. We'll just do it on Wednesday or something and it'll be fine. So this is what's concerning here. This class is it's a state representing the worker holding an item and needing to drop it off. And when you turn the extractor on, then it means that workers should prioritize that if they're holding a potion. However, there only used to be one of these machines. So it was either the extractor was prioritized or it wasn't prioritized. Now there are going to be two of these machines, the extractor and the seed maker. And now it's going to be randomly pick one and walk to it and make sure things don't get like messed up in the on the way over. How does one get more of that good brain time? It's a combination of sleep and I guess good work hygiene. And that's it. There is some amount of like training, I guess. I remember watching, it was a pretty good YouTube video. It was like an hour long by some brain expert. And I think the most important things she said were sleep is super important. And that your brain can typically only focus for about 30 minutes at a time before needing even just like a 5-minute break. And you can extend this time with some training. I think being diligent or something, I'm not sure, longer study sessions. But these are my main takeaways from watching that video a while ago. And I think probably everybody knows that sleep is important, but they're like, yeah, but it's fun to just stay up late or I'm doing something that I'm enjoying or whatever. And you just kind of sweep it under the rug for a while. I sort of wonder how much more effective people would be at anything if they got another hour of sleep, for example. But easier said than done sometimes. You're lucky if you have the ability to sleep and choose not to. Some people are either, I don't know, stressed or anxious or working or any number of things and they can't sleep. Hey, Cavino. Long time no see. How did it go? Yeehaw. How's the new game going? Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for the raid. I just raided into this. Yeah, very lively raid. It's nice seeing everyone here. I am offended. Offended. We've been working on farming in Skeleseller, and we're like slowly making progress here. I'll show you in just a sec. I don't think we can do this right now, but we can do the other thing, but it's not going to be considered an item destination. I'm not sure how this is going to work. Coming from a missed multiplayer connection stream. Imagine posting on a missed connection thing. Could not connect to server, longing for connection with server, dreaming about you. So one of the things we added pretty recently in this game, this is a town management game. You bring items to your shops that you earn from battles, and you use them to earn money and upgrade your town. So I'm going to skip through all of that, and we're going to talk about what we added recently was the fishing pond. You build this, you get a fishing pond, and it comes with this funky device here, where you drop potions in, and it will turn them into fish eggs, which you will then battle your fish and collect the fish scales and use your skills to upgrade your adventures. So right now I'm fighting some defenseless fish. They're not fighting me back. They'll never do damage to me. And what we're doing next is we're adding in the farm. So we now have a way of building a farm in the game. And we're adding in a similar funky device here that hopefully we can now bring potions to. I probably didn't finish this. No, I did not finish. Oh, actually, you can bring potions to it. It just doesn't do anything and it doesn't get highlighted. Yeah. Got my butt absolutely kicked by multiplayer today. Trying to get Netfox and Nori working. Locals was much easier. Netfox, did I try that? I think I might have tried that. It looks like it's even in my search history. Is this what I tried? Do they have some like... No, wait, no. I did not try this. Yeah. I wrote a bunch of notes on this stuff and then never really got anywhere with it. And I don't think these notes are helpful, but I'm going to link them in the chat nonetheless. Yeah. Because I looked into the multiplayer Godot stuff for a while and then I was like, this just isn't worth it. I'll just make a single player game. And I like to make another multiplayer game eventually, but really, I think making any multiplayer game just adds a lot of complexity and it doesn't always have a payoff. A payoff as a developer, I mean, as in your game being successful. I think it's better, in my opinion, for me, I'm not trying to dictate everybody's life, to iterate on a single player game, make sure it's good, make changes, not worry about balance or anything as much. Yeah, so anyway, if this game looks interesting to you, I pretty much have to say this, but you can go to Steam and you can wishlist it. Thank you, Savage. I appreciate it. I plan the game for multiplayer and I'm too stubborn to swap, so I'll eventually learn it. No, I think it's great to learn it. And I think there are games that won't work as single player games. Or if they will work, then they'll work in a very limited way. It's like, imagine playing chess single player. That's just not a thing. Although you can have an AI you play against. Yeah. So we just started working on this stuff today, the farm. And I mean, we haven't gotten very far because originally what I had designed, I don't think was very fun. So here's how this is going to work. You have to build the farm. You saw me do that. And you'll have a tiny plot of usable land here. So imagine like a little 3x3 or 2x2 area here. That's all you can plant it. And you get seeds by turning on your seed maker. And then workers will come deliver potions to it. The potions, through some means, seeds will get extracted and they'll be planted immediately onto one of these pieces of land. So from there, after a minute or two, your crops will just sort of automatically mature. You'll see them go through the growth stages. So imagine they go from like this little plant all the way up to a big plant and they start gaining some fruits. And then you harvest just by clicking them. And the food you get from it is what you use to upgrade your adventurer's health. And it's a permanent upgrade. So basically, you're very incentivized to get a lot of potions to convert them into seeds so that you can get the food to upgrade your adventures. Chess single player is a thing. Is it? Like, you mean playing against yourself? Who did the art? Take a look at this. In fact, I should probably make another tab for like past projects here. Let me do that really fast. Rename past projects. This is going to break any links that existed to this. What are you going to do? All right, there we go. And we'll say Skeleseller. Yeah, I'll put credits here for this stuff. Grab some food, read your notes. I'll be back. All right, yeah. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for the raid. I know you said you'll be back. The notes, if they don't seem helpful to you, do not continue reading them. It's totally fine. It's not like, oh, there's definitely value there. There's very questionable value. Will it work on a Steam Deck? It'll load on a Steam Deck. It's not optimized for Steam Deck right now. So unfortunately, you have to use the right stick or the right touchpad, I guess, to just move a mouse. There is no like snap the controller to certain buttons up here. And yeah, we gotta work on the Steam Deck friendliness. But you could play the whole game on it. And there are even some special bits of code we wrote to try to optimize little bits of it. Like the game automatically full screens itself on a Steam Deck, because otherwise it just breaks. I'm fine if I could use the left analog to move the camera. Yeah, it's a little buggy there. So you can mostly use the left analog stick to move the camera. But then if you start controlling a battle, so like let's say you start a battle here. These buttons at the end will steal the focus and then prevent it from working. So yeah, there are little things we got to fix. Are the NPCs running around doing nothing, or is there a system they affect? So there are two kinds of NPCs. The slow ones over here are customers, and they're trying to find items, which there just aren't any. Then there are your NPCs, and of them there are two types. There are adventurers who can go into battle. So for example, this walks into a portal, it starts fighting, and when you win a fight, you get items. So see this potion that comes out? My worker will go pick this up and bring it to the shop automatically, and I'll speed this up a tiny bit. And then once they get there, now these customers can buy from this item stand. So if I speed this up some more, like this customer wants this blue potion, and we'll come over here and tip a pretty hefty amount for that potion. Who knows what they needed it for? Is the game going to be on Linux or Mac? Yeah, it's already on both. So if you go to Steam and you want to play the demo, you can play it on any desktop operating system. I will say this. The demo does not have the new systems we've done so far. It does not have fishing. This farming system isn't done, but it obviously doesn't have farming. And then we also added an item stacking. So at some point in the game, you can upgrade this. And now instead of finding just one item at a time, you can find a stack of items. So I have 2 potions or 2 demon helmets or something like that. And you can eventually upgrade that to even level 3 and stack multiple items. So I can have 3 here. So those features are not in the demo. If you don't mind waiting about a month or a month and a half to play the demo is probably best, so that you can go in a little less biased by what was already in the game and then experience these new things and let me know, did this feel more cohesive? But if you want to play now, that's totally fine too. The one thing I ask, like I said, is if you don't mind, just wishlisting the game on Steam is totally free and helps out a lot. I've been tracking the wish list that we have, and we're up to 1313. Yeah, this is up to date. Yeah, so not bad. To give everyone a frame of reference, because everyone always asks, like, what's your target here? It's like asking, how many sales are you okay with for a product that you're making? And it's like, well, the more the better, right? So same thing with wish list. People have estimates for how much it takes to be on the Steam front page, for example. And I've heard just wildly different numbers, but they say generally in the range of like 20K to 40K is what I've heard. That is quite a lot, obviously. Thank you, Savage, for wishlisting it. By the way, for those who are curious, this is not updated in real time. It updates once per day. So I can't see that people wishlisted it. It would be really cool if they had that. So I could tell, like, oh, wow, a YouTube video just came online. Like, is that producing wishlist for the game? And actually, I just last night before going to bed, I looked up Skeleseller on YouTube and I found this video. So someone did a video and it was done a day ago. It's got 1,200 views. I assume that's going to pull in some more wish lists as well. And some other people have done, these are just what people watch. Never mind. Some other people have made some videos too. I think it's really nice. I like seeing people play the game, and if they made a video, then typically they had fun enough to put the video online. Okay, so we got it so that you can put potions in the seed maker manually, but you can't have the workers put them in yet, and it's not getting highlighted. So let's make sure that it gets highlighted. There's a get valid destinations. Yeah, here it is. Get valid item destination for entity. Oh, man. This is not going to be easy, because what I want is for you to return either the extractor or the seed maker if they're both turned on. You know what we could do? We can make them mutually exclusive. I don't like that idea. Huh. I never thought of it until just now, though. What if the seed maker and extractor were mutually exclusive? Turning one on would turn the other off. It means you'd only ever automatically be getting fish or seeds, not both. I think players would be annoyed by that. Yeah, I think they'd be annoyed. Told my mama to wishlist your game. Thanks, Market. Yeah, I think they'd be annoyed. All right, so we need to randomly pick one of these. For now, I'm gonna just put this in here. I've got a lot of things I want to change, and I just want to make some kind of quick changes. So let's do this seed maker, return the farm seed maker. And I'll write to do randomly return either this or the extractor. I think at least. We only ever return one thing from here, so it's not a possible destination. This is a valid destination. And why do we even do this? Oh boy, yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous. Crows, thanks for the resub. First or default. I mean, I could just do .toList.sample, but yeah. The problem is everything that calls this as well. And like I said, I'm gonna have to take a look at this at some point. All right, get all item destinations. This is gonna be the seed maker. Seed maker. And we put that over here. That's gonna do this. Farm is null. Otherwise, get it from the farm. Anything else? Surprisingly, no, that was it. That's actually not too bad. All right, so it should be glowing now. Is it a chord keyboard or just split? It's just split. It's got 36 keys, so I don't really need to use chords for everything. I just use it for some things. How long does it take me to get used to it? It takes about, I'd say on the like low number of weeks, like less than 4 weeks for just English typing. And then for coding was probably in like the 1 to 3 months range. English typing on practically any keyboard that has a dedicated key for every letter is going to be pretty easy. And I say less than 4 weeks. It was probably like 1 week. But yeah, just to give you an idea. Coding, yes, definitely much harder because now you don't have dedicated keys for practically anything. Am I using C#? I am, yeah, Bunny Smasher. And then at some point I switched from QWERTY to Colmac, and that took a very long time. Very long. Like I'd say 1 year to get to maybe like 80% of the QWERTY speed. And I'm estimating because I don't know for sure. And then 2 years to get to maybe like 95% of my QWERTY speed. I assume it's not standard QWERTY. It's not, but it used to be. This is the layout I use now. So if you scroll down to this, which is a little bit more spaced out, this is like a visual representation of the keyboard itself. So instead of QWERT on the top, we see Q, W, F, P, B. And sure enough, if I just press those 5 keys, it types out Q, W, F, P, B. So yeah, this is the main layer. Mostly letters, you can see. Every once in a while, kind of a weird key like this, LT Media O. This is O if I press it, and if I hold it, it turns into a mouse. It turns into volume keys. It turns into pause and play, and some other little things. But yeah, that way you can really make the most out of your small number of keys. And then different layers, things for numbers and symbols and stuff. All right, is this highlighted now? Because it should be working. I'm going to have it build the farm for me, so I don't need to keep doing this. We'll just say create farm. And I gotta say true there, that's fine. Dinner not is time now. Is that a disappointment? Are you hungry? All right, there's our farm. When we try dragging a potion, it should highlight now. Yeah, good. And this has no concept of not accepting the items. And if I turn this on, do workers bring their items here? Are they going there? Oh, they did. Wow. Okay, cool. I am not totally sure how that worked. Oh, it just doesn't know how to toggle. So it shouldn't go here. Good. Whew. Okay. But it also won't prioritize this when I turn this on. All right. Well. I am feeling pretty good about this. So when everything is constructed, this is what your town is going to look like, I guess. Let's get that and this. And the vault doesn't really matter now. I guess let's build these things too. And the warehouse. Yeah, so you have the guild out here. You have the shops, warehouse, vault, enchanter, another shop, tavern, garbage slime, farm, fishing, town hall. And then way over here is the explorer, which is going to need to change anyway. We should probably put them a lot closer. Missing the museum. Yeah, that's true. But this is all that's planned, at least for right now. APX. Dealt with installation problems for Eclipse the entire day, but I think I fixed it. By fixed it, I mean I changed laptops. I haven't used Eclipse in a very long time, but I remember really, really liking it when I first used Java. Yeah, the Explorer is not really all that purposeful in the game. In the future, they're going to probably control the difficulty of boss battles, and even then, I'm not sure we need it anymore. I wonder if we could... I mean, it just says hut on it, although if we wanted to change the sign, we could. We could change it to like the forager's hut. Actually, maybe we should do that. Maybe change it to the forager's hut and you build it and it just gives you a signpost and it says like, hey, fruits can spawn on trees now. And you click them and you get 1 gold. And then you can upgrade it and be like, fruits spawn on all of the trees and they give you 10 gold and they automatically harvest themselves or something. I don't know. The farm's done. No, the farm's not done. The farm is still a very big work in progress. I think it's going to take at least 2 more days, probably. Yeah, done in quotes, sure. I should write this down. Maybe consider changing the Explorer to... the Forager? Update. Maybe we should scrap the Explorer altogether and just change this to the Forager's hut and let them upgrade your fruit trees around town. Maybe you can even harvest mushrooms. I don't know. But yeah, the rationale behind this change is the adventure progression. If you can upgrade all of your stats, then maybe you don't need to be able to lower the difficulty of bosses. Plus, it would be a somewhat complex mechanic to lower the difficulty. Or like custom, it wouldn't be that complex. I guess we could work around it. I like the difficulty setting thing. Yeah, I think we need to see. I think we need to see how this feels. I actually don't like that there are references to the Explorer in the game right now, and I think for checkpoint number 5, we're going to need to think about what feedback have we gotten that we can just paper over for a little while. We're farming rocks. Like I grew some hefty rocks on this farm. How much do you think they're worth? Only I could harvest them. Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad we can't test anything. All right, so then here's what I'm gonna say. Where we left off, have a whole bunch of to-do items in the farm code. Did I just open something? Can't you mine them? No. I think we could add mining in the future, although I'm not sure what it would be for. Probably creating weapons or something. All right, let's fill out the journal. I don't know why this takes so long. Okay, so what did we do most of today? Spent a while, or like redesigned the farm and then started coding it. Yeah. All right. Okay, I think that's it for today. I've been streaming a little longer than I normally do. It's been 6 hours and 40 minutes today, and I think I took 1 break. Wait, should be taking more breaks. Let's go find someone to raid. All right, we have not raided Fern in a while. Let's go raid Fern. Although Fern might be ending soon. I have no idea. All right. If Cavino were streaming right now, I would go raid Cavino. I should raid Cavino next time. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to be back on Wednesday. We're going to pick up where we left off with farming. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be streaming, and I'm going to be trying to make, hopefully, a YouTube short or something covering this new segment I want to do. And also getting a haircut. So thank you. Take care. And I will hopefully see you on Wednesday. Ciao.